They were bold, fearless, and ready to die for their people. They challenged empires. They refused to kneel. And for that, they paid the ultimate price. But here's the shocking part. Decades later, most people don't even remember their names. Their photos are missing from school textbooks. Their voices were silenced in history classes. Their legacies are buried under the weight of colonial lies, media silence, and political agendas. Was this just forgetfulness, or a calculated effort to erase them? Because their ideas were too powerful to survive. Today, we're bringing them back. This is not just a tribute, this is resurrection. These are the stories of the African revolutionaries, the ones they tried to erase. Let's start with 10, and the last one will surprise you. Number 10, Thomas Sankara, Burkina Faso. This is Thomas Sankara, often called Africa's Che Guevara. At just 33, he became the president of Burkina Faso, but he didn't want to be a ruler. He tried to free his people. He refused foreign aid, rejected luxury, and even sold off government limousines. Sankara cut his salary, wore military fatigues, and told ministers to ride bicycles. He planted millions of trees to fight desertification, gave land back to farmers, and vaccinated over 2 million children. He spoke boldly against colonialism, capitalism, and corruption, not just in Africa, but at the United Nations. But powerful people didn't like that. In 1987, his closest friend Blaise Compaoré betrayed him in a coup. Sankara was assassinated. 12 bullets ended his life, but not his legacy. Today, Thomas Sankara lives on as a symbol of courage, honesty, and African pride, a man they tried to erase, but couldn't. Number 9, Patrice Lumumba, Congo. He dreamed of a free Congo, not just free from chains, but free in mind, in dignity, and in destiny. This is Patrice Lumumba, Congo's first prime minister after independence from Belgium in 1960. A fiery speaker, a passionate Pan-African, and a fearless critic of colonial rule. In his independence speech, he exposed the brutality of the Belgian regime while the king sat just meters away. That speech made history and enemies. Within months, Lumumba was overthrown in a coup backed by foreign powers, including Belgium and the CIA. He was beaten, tortured, and finally executed. His body dissolved in acid to hide the truth. For decades, his name was erased from Congo's textbooks. His legacy is buried under silence, but the people never forgot. Today, Lumumba stands as a martyr of African independence, a voice that still echoes through the continent. They killed the man, but they couldn't kill the idea of a proud, united Africa. Number 8, Steve Biko, South Africa. He didn't carry a gun. He carried an idea, black consciousness. This is Steve Biko, the man who told black South Africans, "You are not inferior, you've just been told you are." In the 1970s, while apartheid crushed millions, Biko sparked a psychological revolution. He taught people to reclaim their identity, their dignity, and their power. The regime feared him more than any weapon. In 1977, Biko was arrested, tortured, and left to die in the back of a police van. He was just 30 years old. They tried to silence him, but his words lived on in songs, in protests, in the hearts of those who fought for justice. Steve Biko didn't get statues or school chapters for years, but the people remembered, and now, so will we. Because in his own words, it is better to die for an idea that will live than to live for an idea that will die. Number 7, Samora Machel, Mozambique. He fought for Mozambique. He died fighting for all of southern Africa. This is Samora Machel, freedom fighter, revolutionary, and the first president of Mozambique. A trained guerrilla, he led a people's war against Portuguese colonial rule for over a decade. When independence came in 1975, he didn't celebrate power. He declared war on poverty, racism, and inequality. He supported liberation movements in South Africa and Zimbabwe, risking everything to unite the region, but that made him dangerous. In 1986, his plane crashed near the South African border. The cause? Still unclear. Many believe it wasn't an accident. With him, a generation's hope was lost, but his fire still burns in the hearts of those fighting for a truly free Africa. As Machel once said, international solidarity is not an act of charity. It is an act of unity between allies fighting on different terrains. Number 6, Amílcar Cabral, Guinea-Bissau and Cape Verde. Some leaders fight with guns. Amílcar Cabral fought with words, and still won. Born in Cape Verde, he led the liberation of Guinea-Bissau from Portuguese rule. But Cabral wasn't just a soldier, he was an agricultural engineer, poet, and one of Africa's greatest minds. He told his people, "The weapon of the oppressed is their culture." While Europe tried to erase African identity, Cabral revived it, teaching people their history, language, and pride. His strategy? Win the war by winning the people first, and it worked. But in 1973, months before independence, Cabral was assassinated, not by colonizers, but by traitors from within. His dream lived on. Guinea-Bissau gained independence. His legacy became global. Even Che Guevara called him the most brilliant leader in Africa. Today, Cabral reminds us, tell no lies, claim no easy victories. So now you've heard the stories of 5 powerful African leaders who were erased from mainstream history, but not from our hearts. Which one inspired you the most so far? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Number 5, Walter Rodney, Caribbean and Africa. He didn't lead armies, he led minds. This is Walter Rodney, a Guyanese historian, political activist, and one of the most powerful voices against colonialism in the Caribbean and Africa. His book, How Europe Underdeveloped Africa, became a weapon of truth, exposing how colonizers looted the continent and left it in chains. Rodney believed that education was a revolution. He taught in Tanzania, marched with the poor in Jamaica, and uplifted the working class in Guyana. But truth has enemies. In 1980, at just 38 years old, Walter Rodney was assassinated by a car bomb. Many believe it was orchestrated by the government he dared to challenge. He didn't live long, but his ideas, they're eternal. You cannot develop people unless they are free, he once said. And today his words still speak louder than ever. Number 4, Haile Selassie, Ethiopia. He was more than a king. He was a spirit of freedom. This is Haile Selassie, Emperor of Ethiopia, a global symbol of resistance against colonialism and a beacon for Africa. When fascist Italy invaded his land, he didn't just fight for his throne. He woke the world to the truth that fighting for freedom is the right of every human being. Standing before the League of Nations, he declared that when one nation is oppressed, oppression threatens us all. With his voice, Haile Selassie sparked a new light across Africa, the dream of a united continent. He was a king, but his heart beat for his people. He laid the foundation for modern Ethiopia and opened the path for progress. Today, his name lives not only in Ethiopia, but around the world as a symbol of freedom and justice. History will judge us, he said once. And it is true that Haile Selassie's story still lives on in every heart that dreams of freedom. Number 3, Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana. He didn't just dream of freedom, he fought to make it real. This is Kwame Nkrumah, the architect of Ghana's independence and a visionary for Africa's liberation. He stood against colonial chains, leading Ghana to become the first African nation to break free from European rule. Nkrumah believed that true freedom meant unity. He dreamed of a united Africa, one continent, one people, one destiny. Through speeches and rallies, he ignited the spirit of Pan-Africanism, inspiring millions to rise and reclaim their future. He built schools, factories, and roads, laying the foundation for progress in a new Ghana. But power has its battles. In 1966, his government was overthrown, yet his vision could not be silenced. Freedom is not something that one person can bestow on another as a gift, he declared. Kwame Nkrumah's legacy lives on a relentless call for unity, dignity, and self-determination across Africa. Number 2, Julius Nyerere, Tanzania. He didn't just lead a nation, he built a vision. This is Julius Nyerere, Tanzania's founding father and a pioneer of African socialism. He believed true freedom wasn't just independence from colonial rule, it was self-reliance, unity, and equality for all. Nyerere's vision was Ujamaa familyhood, where communities shared, grew, and thrived together. He left the comforts of city life to live among his people, teaching, listening, and leading by example. Through peaceful leadership, he guided Tanzania from colonial chains to a hopeful new dawn. Nyerere knew progress wasn't easy, but he believed in the strength of people working hand in hand. Development is about people, he said, and he dedicated his life to their dignity and future. Today, his legacy endures as a timeless call to build a just and united society. Now let's turn our attention to the last leader in our series, a figure whose courage and vision continue to inspire generations. Number 1, Robert Mugabe, Zimbabwe. He was a revolutionary. He was a ruler. This is Robert Mugabe, Zimbabwe's founding father and a fierce fighter against colonial rule. For decades, he led the struggle to end white minority domination, winning freedom for his people. Mugabe's words stirred hope, pride, and the promise of a new nation rising from oppression. He built schools, hospitals, and infrastructure, laying the groundwork for Zimbabwe's future. But power can be a double-edged sword. Years of leadership brought controversy, economic hardship, and political strife shadowed his legacy. Yet his fight for independence remains undeniable. "Our destiny is in our hands," he once said. Robert Mugabe's story is a complex tapestry of liberation, struggle, and the burdens of leadership. These leaders changed the course of history not just with power, but with vision, courage, and unshakable belief in freedom and justice. Now it's our turn. Learn from their stories, carry their legacy forward, stand up for truth, unity, and dignity in your way. If their words moved you, share this video. Let their voices inspire others to rise. Because history isn't just about the past, it's the spark for the future we build together. Subscribe, share, and keep the movement alive.